Epstein alleged in emails that Trump knew of his conduct. In a message obtained by Congress, the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein wrote that Donald J. Trump spent hours at his house with one of Mr. Epstein's victims. House Democrats on Wednesday released emails in which Jeffrey Epstein wrote that President Trump had spent hours at my house with one of Mr. Epstein's victims, among other messages that suggested that the convicted sex offender believed Mr. Trump knew more about his abuse than he has acknowledged. Mr. Trump has emphatically denied any involvement in or knowledge of Mr. Epstein's sex trafficking operation. He has said that he and Mr. Epstein, the disgraced financier who died by suicide in federal prison in 2019, were once friendly but had a falling out. But Democrats on the House Oversight Committee said the emails, which they selected from thousands of pages of documents that were released by their panel on Wednesday, raised new questions about the relationship between the two men. In one of the messages, Mr. Epstein flatly asserted that Mr. Trump knew about the girls, many of whom were later found by investigators to have been underage. In another, Mr. Epstein pondered how to address questions from the news media about their relationship as Mr. Trump was becoming a national political figure. In a statement denouncing the release of the messages, Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, identified the victim mentioned in one of them as Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide in April, and had said that she did not think that Mr. Trump had participated in the sexual abuse of minors at Mr. Epstein's home. The fact remains that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club decades ago for being a creep to his female employees, including Giuffre, Ms. Leavitt said. These stories are nothing more than bad faith efforts to distract from President Trump's historic accomplishments, and any American with common sense sees right through this hoax and clear distraction from the government opening back up again. The messages are certain to inflame the debate on Capitol Hill over the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein files, and top officials' decision to backtrack on a promise to fully release all of its investigative material in the case. That issue, which has split Republicans and alienated some of Mr. Trump's right-wing supporters, had faded to the background as the government shutdown dragged on. But the House is set to return on Wednesday to clear legislation to end the shutdown, and attention is likely to shift back to the Epstein matter. These latest emails and correspondence raise glaring questions about what else the White House is hiding and the nature of the relationship between Epstein and the president. Representative Robert Garcia of California, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, said in a statement. The emails were turned over to the committee in response to a set of subpoenas Democrats effectively forced Republicans to issue for files related to Mr. Epstein. So far, the Justice Department has provided the panel with little that was not already public. Democrats and a few Republicans have been pressing for a far broader set of disclosures from the administration's Epstein investigation, a move that Mr. Trump and GOP leaders in Congress vehemently oppose. The three separate email exchanges released on Wednesday were all from after Mr. Epstein's 2008 plea deal in Florida on state charges of soliciting prostitution, in which federal prosecutors agreed not to pursue charges. They came years after Mr. Trump and Mr. Epstein had a reported falling out in the early 2000s. One was addressed to Mr. Epstein's longtime confidant Ghislaine Maxwell, while two were with the author Michael Wolff. In one email from April 2011, Mr. Epstein told Ms. Maxwell, who was later convicted on charges related to facilitating his crimes, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump." He added that an unnamed victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. "I have been thinking about that," Ms. Maxwell wrote back. In an email from January 2019, Mr. Epstein wrote to Mr. Wolff of Mr. Trump. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. House Democrats, citing an unnamed whistleblower, said this week that Ms. Maxwell was preparing to formally ask Mr. Trump to commute her federal prison sentence. The emails were provided to the Oversight Committee along with a larger tranche of documents from Mr. Epstein's estate that the panel requested as part of its investigation into Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence on sex trafficking charges. The committee's staff redacted victims' names and any identifying information from the emails. Because the full set of documents has not been released, it was not clear whether the emails had been excerpted from larger conversations that might have provided fuller context. Republicans on the Oversight Committee accused Democrats of politicizing the investigation. Democrats continue to carelessly cherry-pick documents to generate clickbait that is not grounded in the facts, a committee spokeswoman said. The Epstein estate has produced over 20,000 pages of documents on Thursday. Yet Democrats are once again intentionally withholding records that name Democrat officials. The Republicans, who have repeatedly cited their concern for protecting the identities of Mr. Epstein's victims as a reason not to call for a full release of the administration's files in the case, were the first on Wednesday to name Ms. Giuffre, whose name was redacted in the emails. Ms. Jeffrey had said that Ms. Maxwell recruited her into Mr. Epstein's sex ring while she was working at Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump's private club and residence in Palm Beach, as a teenager. In a 2016 deposition for a civil case, Ms. Jeffrey was asked if she believed Mr. Trump had witnessed the sexual abuse of minors in Mr. Epstein's home. Editor's picks. 6 floating hotels where gentle waves will rock you to sleep. How a sea creature's fossils show all the colors of the rainbow. Dear Sonderguest, your hotel is closed. I don't think Donald Trump participated in anything, she said. I never saw or witnessed Donald Trump participate in those acts, but was he in the house of Jeffrey Epstein, Ms. Jeffrey added. I've heard he has been, but I haven't seen him myself so I don't know. Mr. Trump has called Mr. Epstein a creep, and has insisted he never engaged in any wrongdoing with him or Ms. Maxwell. He has condemned the continued questions about his handling of the case as a hoax perpetrated by Democrats. Both Mr. Trump and Mr. Epstein split their time between New York and Palm Beach, Florida, and they were friends in the 1990s and early 2000s. Their relationship appeared to fizzle out around 2004, though Mr. Trump and those close to him have offered different accounts of why. By one account, they fell out after trying to outbid each other on a piece of Palm Beach real estate. Last summer, Mr. Trump said that Mr. Epstein had hired away spa attendants at Mar-a-Lago. He said that he had kicked Mr. Epstein out of his club, and that he believed one of the women was Ms. Jeffrey. At the time Mr. Epstein emailed Ms. Maxwell in 2011 calling Mr. Trump the dog that didn't bark. Mr. Trump was a reality television star and New York tabloid celebrity who was years away from becoming president.